Up.
Are we there?
I got green screen. Why is it showing there and not showing here? That doesn't make any sense.
But it's not like the internet's not working because the internet sees that it's being posted.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering why the fuck.
Oh, bro, can I like have some phone like that? Over here, like running videos and shit. Anyway, that's a different question. Hey. So did that put my face?
There we go. Yep, there it is.
Different question.
And we're here.
Hold on.
Well, it froze. Or you just.
But can we hear us?
Yeah, it just did for a second, then it just froze.
Audio? So did
yeah.
that put my face?
Just a little bit of a lag.
There it is. That, or is it that? Is the comments on there?
No, those are gone because you started a new one.
Oh, it froze. Or you just. Can we hear us?
Yeah, it just did for a second,
So
then it just
totally
froze.
So
yeah.
What does
Just
it look
a little
like
bit
now?
of a lag.
Comments on there?
Those are gone because you started a new one.
Wait for me to say, what does it look like now?
Can we hear us? Yeah, it just did for a second, then it just froze.
Okay, so it's full on just playing us now.
It's lagging a little bit, but those are gone. You started a new one.
Wait for me to say, what does it look like now?
Can we hear us? Yeah, it just did for a second, then it just froze.
Okay, so it's full on just playing us. So it has, okay. Let's check something. If that changes it.
I was doing the comments. What the fuck?
Wow, it's like I had to force the camera to start working.
I was doing the comments.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, welcome back, Ultra Magnesium.
Welcome.
I'm not really sure what happened, but I just forced it through screen share to make the camera start working, and now it's working. I don't know how to get the comments off. I'm working on that right now because that is really crimping my style.
It's weird. I've never seen that before. It's not on this screen. If you look, it don't have the comments all.
Oh, okay. I muted us on that one. So anyway, today we are here talking about influencers. And it's really funny because initially this was not what our podcast was going to be about. We were going to regurgitate some more bullshit about Pam Bondi, which really isn't bullshit. But at the end of the day, it would have been more political bullshit. And
right.
What was it that you looked at me and said, Greg? Because I don't remember exactly. I don't have my mic on. We were talking about Sneeko or some shit.
Well, yeah, like how Sneeko's all of a sudden political, Theo Von's all of a sudden political.
And they're literally just like people that were never political.
No, they weren't political at all until very recently.
All of a sudden, they see like clicks are capable to be made there, and it's kind of like, why do you want to fake the funk? Why do you want to be in a position that you're not actually in? Because at the end of the day, Theo Von's not fucking political. That'd be like Matt Rife being political.
Yeah.
I think that's his fucking name.
Yeah, that's his name. Well, that's like the most famous streamer, most successful one on Twitch is named Kai Cenat or something like that.
Okay.
And he hasn't been on there for a few months. And now he's talking about he's going to quit because the main Twitch guys said they're going to start revoking. They're going to start any paid users that are like don't have activity for a while. They're going to take off there, which would hurt his money. Even though Kai Cenat recently said that he's not worried about money anymore. So it's like I think it's something else going. I think they're trying to get him. I think someone's pulling some strings behind all these guys. They either slipping them a check to have the same views, or they're just manipulating it to where they can.
Well, I mean,
Obviously, the clicks are there, so they're gonna say that because
yeah.
it's all the younger crowd watching this.
Well, it is, and
Guys our
that's
age don't watch this shit. Like,
no. Well, I might watch
like I'll watch the clips like on
That's what I'm
Twitter or
saying.
something. But I'm
Like,
not sitting there. I'm not like, all right, the Sneeko stream's on tonight, guys. We're gonna,
yeah,
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get in the live chat and
which is wild. I've never even really thought about it like that. They really are watching it like we watched Married
yeah,
with Children.
yeah. It's the cool thing ever since COVID. That's been like the new cool because everybody was in their house and they had to make. They figured out that if I just sit in my room and put like entertaining content, Kai did the most. He'd have like celebrities on.
Kind of like what we're doing.
Well, yeah, Well, they were like, it was to me, it was like the kind of shit I would do as a teenager in my room as a kid. Like
Got you.
they're just
But
like
with a
having
camera there
fun,
showing
they're
everybody.
drinking and shit. Like, hey, but they're all hanging out in a room because that's like back in the day. It was like this is the cool house to chill at. We'll kick it in the room.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't go out in
Yeah,
public and do all the dumb shit because
right.
you go to fucking jail. You know, the difference in our generation and the generation we're talking about is we probably did the same shit.
Yeah, it looks like this. It looks very similar to me. Like, and like even at one point, Kai had like like he had like a door to his room, and like to close it, he just put like we push a box up against the door. That's like some shit I would do when I was a teenager. Like,
No, that's wild.
whatever, the door's broken, I'll just fucking adapt, not fix the door like a grown up would do.
The
Like,
difference is we just didn't film it.
no, yeah, we didn't film it. It wasn't the cool thing to do. And then you'll notice they all say they'll be basically talking to the chat. They're like, all right, chat, help me with this. All right, chat, help me with that. Rampage Jackson hopped on this train. He's our age, so
Yeah,
it's kind of funny to watch him do that shit.
But
But
yeah, but he's got a big enough name that he's going to
yeah,
have
yeah,
people
yeah,
that watched him fight like actually follow and see what he's doing. But I guess the whole main point of it is like when they're out there saying that they're social justice warriors or they're doing this or they're doing that, at the end of the day, the whole point to it is to get the younger generation to click on their fucking video.
yeah.
Like that's the whole fucking point. Like so, like yeah, they are getting a check.
Yeah. So either
They
way, the
they
way you
are
look
getting a
at it, yeah,
check. If they get more of these younger, twisted brain, social warrior, they them fucking people to click on their video, they're gonna make more money.
yeah. Well, they have like millions of viewers, so
And not all of them are that. That's not what
no,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
no. But
But
I mean, like the majority of those people are gonna be like, "Well, Sneeko said."
the more people that they can cater to, though, the more people are going to click on their video. So it's not even necessarily that that is what they feel,
Right.
or whatever
They're
thing
just
they're
trying to get
championing.
clicks.
Yeah, they're championing,
Championing,
Yeah, I'm
championing.
going to let
Yeah,
you
something
what
like that.
Greg said. What
Yeah,
Greg
it
said.
sounds right.
But what they're doing that for is not because they believe in those morals, those values, those any sort of individual character contingencies. It is purely how can I reach and not offend any group of people.
Right. Well, they don't care about offending any conservatives,
Well,
but
yes.
no one does.
Well, to be a white straight male in America
Yeah,
is
you just
one of the
an
most
asshole. Like basically
frowned
offer it.
upon things until something is needed.
They're just being a white dude with tattoos now, pretty much. If God forbid, if you have a short hair, like haircut or something, like they're gonna be or just shaved sides.
And the weird part is they're going to call you a Nazi.
Yeah,
While
off rip.
the majority of the youth in America are literally practicing have neo-Nazi tendencies.
Right.
When they start talking about Z.O.G and all of this different things, if you don't know, that's Zionist occupied government. But like all of these things where, you know, and my favorite statement. Some views are someone sending it to say to the person, "You won't believe this shit."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Clicks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clicks. But
clicks.
it's for clicks because once again, it's how many people can I get to go tap tap, and then the other thing, and I'm learning this on the back end with all this shit that we're doing, and I really am just doing this for the fun of it. I enjoy doing this every Saturday. We might end up making more content, but the only real way that can happen, and this isn't dedicated to y'all or any sort of knock to the people watching, is if we get more people and actually start getting paid a wage, because at the end of the day, that is the whole point to this.
Right.
Like, I can't dedicate 6 days a week to making
Yeah,
videos
juice has to be worth the squeeze,
if it,
basically. Yeah.
yeah. But I do enjoy doing it once a week. But fuck, I totally had an ADD moment, lost track of where I was headed there. Um, the whole thing about it though is these people are just faking the funk in every direction. Because while at one point, yes, they do some random ass dumb shit,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, most of them don't have any sort of anti liberal. As a matter of fact, what they're doing is pro propaganda toward, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you know what? Yeah, the Jews are really bad. Like, they control everything. You know, the music industry. How long we heard about
Oh
that?
yeah,
Oh, they
yeah, yeah.
control.
My whole
What else
life.
do they control? The TV, they control the radio, they control the this, they control the that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's done in a fashion that I don't necessarily think they actually believe.
Well, it used to be everybody thought it was, which it is, Satanist,
Yeah, well, it
and
is
then
Satan.
somehow Jews have gotten tied in to Satanists.
Well, if you read the Talmud instead of the Torah, then
Right,
you look at
but
the blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah
that's
blah.
how it goes. It's like
Jews
what?
are bad, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah
like
blah 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 blah
it's
blah. They control Jews bad, blah 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 blah. Like, that's what it turns up into.
but
And
it's like all the Satanists have convinced everybody to replace the Satanists doing everything with Jews,
well,
minus the music industry. That they've been saying that forever, and there probably have been a few prominent Jewish guys control because they're smart about making money. Like it's.
it's no different than Asians being good at
Yeah,
math.
or like Indian people being doctors. Are we gonna say Indian people are taking over the world because they're all doctors?
Well, and then if you actually look at, like because then their go-to is donations
Yeah,
and APAC,
right.
right? You've heard that, right?
Hmm.
Did you know APAC is the problem is I can't remember the percentage,
Right, but it's
but
not the
it's
biggest.
majority. Well, it's not even that. It's majority percentage of donators are American citizens.
Right.
So the majority of the money that comes from APAC that gets funneled into the United States government, which honestly, we should have a whole conversation on that separately. Like, they should wear NASCAR jackets so
Yeah.
that I can see what's and further than that, maybe they shouldn't even get those donations.
No, I mean that to this point they're manipulating them too much.
Well, they are, you know.
Now this is what politicians have survived off of forever: is people donating to a cause. But then it's now become like essentially it was right. The politician has a cause, and then you donate
Hold
to
on,
it
hold on,
because
hold on. Elon Musk donated to your political candidate, and he was one of the largest personal donators of all people through a business. So, like, I think you're speaking from privilege,
right,
sir.
right, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember what I was saying.
My bad. I totally did. But, like, that's how they talk to us now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. Is it's like, well, actually, from a point of privilege, like the video, was that me and you watching that video, or was it me and Jeff? So there, it was me and Jeff. So there was these little cards given out at this liberal thing in Canada.
Okay.
Okay, and so like black, gay, transsexual males could have a card, and I'm not fully speaking on knowing everything, so maybe I'm adding layers or taking away layers that I don't understand. But, like, they could pull a point of privilege card and hold it up, and they would get to speak first. Or, like, bisexual women would have a point of privilege card higher than, like, a straight white male.
Right.
And it was
That
like this
of
big
course.
speaking event, and it was for pros and cons, like, and not like convicts, but like there was a conversation topic, and these people would be the pros and these people would be the con. And this lady held up, this bisexual lesbian held up her card, and she was like, well, I know I'm on, or she's like, I'm a pro and it's my turn to talk, and my point of privilege is the fact that you, and it's like, what the fuck kind of nonsense is that?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a point of privilege. You have no, like, privilege to speak before any other person in any other event in any place in
Right.
history. Like, you don't get a privilege. But it goes back to the fact, and this is something else that's like blooming in the youth. It's like, oh well, the patriarchy was real,
Yeah, which is horseshit.
and it is horseshit, because if, like Little Wayne said, when I asked him about systemic racism,
Right.
He's like, well, I'm a billionaire or millionaire black man, and if
Mhm.
that was real, I wouldn't have that.
Right.
And I had my life saved
A
by a
white
white
cop
man.
named Bob or some shit
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
like so, like you know, I get what they're trying to say, like, oh well, because it was created by old white men, but like just the beginning of that conversation is fucked.
Mhm.
Because if you look at like the founding fathers at the age they were when they wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that, these were like 21 to 28-year-olds. They weren't old white men, is my point. I know
Right.
in the paintings they had the old curly white hair
Yeah,
and
they were all
all of that
youngins, dude.
stuff. They were all young as shit. They were younger than you and I.
Oh yeah, for
As a
sure.
matter of fact, if we were still alive in that
We'd be
time,
old.
we were elders.
Yeah, we would be. We'd be sitting on a porch smoking a pipe,
Yeah, they
yelling at those guys. Probably. You know.
yeah, you
Probably
fucking
had their back. I'm like, these guys are great. Guys,
but
I don't know. Back then, you probably like these
well,
motherfucking whippersnappers.
yeah, they're out here making waves.
Yeah,
I was
like
just trying to pay my 3% tea tax and
yeah,
they dump it in the
everything was
water.
good.
I can't even get my tea. Which preludes into the next conversation about everybody bitching about the price of gas right now.
Yeah,
Very specifically, the liberals. Where was that energy when we were paying $5 a gallon when Barack Obama was president?
that's just the way it
Where was it
is.
when we were paying
Yeah,
that same $5 a gallon? As a matter of
I don't know that
under
liberals
Joe
even
Biden.
gave a shit about anything until Trump came in.
Well, then all of a sudden, everything was a
And they
negative fucking
turned into
conversation.
political experts all of a sudden.
Let's see, and not even political.
Heavy quotes on that. Like they're not.
Oh, my gas is more
It's
expensive.
the juice.
It's the Jews. So I have some figures right here. And I looked up the lowest price of a barrel of oil from Trump, Bush, Obama, and Biden to the highest price of a barrel of oil from those same four presidents, and then the average price of a barrel of oil. Now, one of the things that shocked me is including this term right now, Donald Trump's average price of a barrel of oil in all the years he was president and has been up and until like March is April, the beginning of April, is $64 a barrel. The only president that was lower than Donald Trump on the average price of a barrel of oil was George W. Bush from 2002 to 2008. And his price was only $5 less a barrel of oil. As a matter of fact, it was like $4.15 less. It was $57.85. Joe Biden was $71 average. Obama was $70.70, which is a full 6 to 7 cents more
Yeah.
a barrel. Now that's average. Okay. Donald Trump is the only one that had a negative $37.63 a barrel. That's negative. That means people were paying for the oil to be taken under Donald Trump. Now, that was in his first term. Right now, as of April, like 1st, no April Fools, Donald Trump's highest amount of a barrel of oil is $111. That sounds crazy, right? Well, Bush, his highest was $147.27. Now that was during the Iraq War. So that was bullshit in the Middle East. But what's wild about that is that's like 2006, 2007.
Okay.
And it's 2026. 20 years later, we have started another mission in the Middle East, and Donald Trump's only at 111. Bush hit 147. Joe Biden's highest was 123 with no new conflict. They still had Afghanistan in the Middle East, but it's $123 a barrel. It was $5 a gallon of gas under Joe Biden right now, and that was here in Bay County.
Okay.
It was like $4.89, I think is what I paid. The national average under Joe Biden at that point was $5 a gallon. It was $4.89 here. Right now, Donald Trump, we're at like 1967 with a war in the Middle East and a choke point on the Strait of Hormuz. And then Obama's highest was $109. So Obama's wasn't as high at his highest, but his average was still $6.70 more average over his entire term. And that was an 8-year term. So the Jews did it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like, oh my God, we're paying so much more a barrel of oil. Oh my God, my gas is so high. Where was that energy 10 years ago? Oh, you know where it was? Their parents were driving them to school. Because all these people that are bitching about it are whatever the latest
oh
generation
yeah, yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Their parents were driving them to school. They didn't notice because they weren't paying the gas. It's the same people that have turned into red-blooded Republicans that are like, I don't want my money going toward illegal immigrants. Well, your money doesn't go to it. Yeah, it does. We pay taxes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Which is a segue into, in California, they spend $87,000 per homeless person per year. Did you make $87,000 last year?
Mm.
Even before taxes? No, yeah, me either. So after taxes, which at $87,000 would be approximately $54,000, they could have just gave every homeless person $54,000 and they should have been able to live their life. In New York, per homeless person per year, it's $141,000. In New York, they should be living like a fucking king. But yet we have this young generation that's out here fucking championing, you know, Donald Trump's and the Epsteins, the Jews control everything.
Yep.
The fucking the war in Iran is wrong because Iran is not necessarily a bad place. Palestine, oh my God, the atrocities that are happening in Palestine, and Israel is the problem of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because of these influencers out here getting clicks.
Yep.
It really is.
Well, then, like you got guys like Theo Vaughn. Like I don't know that he did it for clicks. He was on Joe Rogan's, and he all of a sudden is like, "America's the terrorist." Blah. Like what the
Well,
fuck?
yeah, if you were an Afghani,
Yeah, it's like even then,
but at the end of the day, and this is going to be a controversial fucking statement. If you act like a savage, you get dealt like a savage.
yeah,
If you're out there making roadside bombs blowing people up,
yeah. Well, just Afghanistan as a whole is just a different world.
in Syria, they chlorine gassed a bunch of kids in Trump's first thing. He threw 60 Tomahawk missiles at them. Like, you can't ask America to be the world's police without having to deal with us acting like police. And the problem is, just like nowadays, we have all these videos of these young liberal white chicks telling cops they're not going to fucking do something
Yeah,
and getting slammed on the fucking ground and then going, oh my God, he slammed her on the
yeah.
ground.
Like,
Like,
like you didn't really think it was gonna happen.
you charged a cop.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't listen to an officer telling you to do something. America told you to stop making roadside bombs and sponsoring terrorism. So guess what?
Yeah,
We're going to fuck you up.
killing ours. So
You know, this Iranian war isn't a new war. While everybody's like, Trump started a war with Iran, I'm pretty fucking sure they've been killing Americans for 47 years.
yep. And chanting "Death to America" every chance they get.
Chanting death to America. But you know what? We're controlled. Grok the GDP of Israel for me real quick. Just do that for me. We're controlled by a small country in the Middle East. Not that we're controlling a small country in the Middle East. We're controlled by a small country in the Middle East that has a GDP probably similar to California's because of all the money they donate. It's wild. Almost crazy.
It's like 611 billion.
All right, so what's the GDP of California? I don't know that. That's why I asked that question. California might have a shit GDP now that everybody's left. That might have been a bad call. Maybe I should ask you to look up Florida or the US. Because to sit here and say that a small country like
It's
Israel can
4.3 trillion.
okay, yeah, that so California
California.
is 4.3 trillion. Are you sure that's not the US?
It says California.
Okay. This is Grok. We're using Grok. But that's my point. Like to sit here and say
It's a lot.
that anybody controls America with money. Just ask, I don't know, Lockheed Martin and Skunk Works and Raytheon.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making plenty of money off all this
Like,
shit.
what's the United States annual defense budget when you're done looking up what you're looking up? Like, because to sit here, like, if you really believe that, like, either you're falling for neo Nazi propaganda, which Barack Obama in 2012 signed that the Americans can have propaganda or straight out lies being perpetuated onto them through the American government. It was illegal before then. That's a true statement. Look it up. We wouldn't have had to deal with this, but we're here now.
Here we are. Which defense budget?
The annual defense budget of the United States of America. Oh, yeah, I wasn't even seeing this. Yes, right there. Women dealing with cops. Twisting and jerking and pulling their hands back and while whining, saying, I'm not doing anything. I
Yeah, they almost always catch
My-
what is it, like something on a Leo, battery on a Leo? They
Yes.
fucking
My other favorite, though, is I can't breathe.
yeah.
And that's not even a George Floyd reference. The worst part is it's mostly white people.
Yeah, well, they're
that.
saying it because of the George Floyd shit. $1.05 trillion.
So we spend $1 trillion in defense. 1.5. That's 1,500,000,000,000. But Israel controls us when their entire budget is 600 billion.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. I bet the pharmaceutical companies make more money than Israel.
Oh, I would imagine.
Like, so to sit here and fucking go, oh my God. But at the end of the day, the whole point of it is it's the influencers that are out here causing this. That's why the youth of America is so mindly corrupt on what they think. Because the influencers aren't coming out and going, you know what, these are my staunchy values. I really believe this. This is what I stand up for. What they're actually coming out and going is, what are you going to click on for me to tell you I believe in?
Yeah.
If I tell you I believe in Jesus Christ, is that going to get me more clicks? Or if I tell you that I believe that Israel and the Jews control the United States government through the Zionist occupation of the government, and that's wrong, and I propagate neo-Nazi fucking shit across the way and tell you you should feel bad for everybody except the straight white man, and you click on it, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
Every time. Then you got all like the white influencers, like, well, I guess like Fuentes brings a bunch of shit up, but he's a fucking idiot. So
Fuentes is an idiot. He's only going to, he actually, you know what? Fuentes is quite intelligent to get clicks.
oh yeah,
He has literally got all the Republicans and then flipped over and is now getting the Democrats. Think about it. He's now got his blue hat.
oh yeah.
He got his solid Republican base and then tried to convince them that Donald Trump was terrible.
And then started saying you should vote Democrat.
Yeah,
like what?
Like, that
Like,
is,
hold on.
by definition, the point of this podcast. Nick Fuentes is you know what, Nick? We invite you to be on our podcast to tell us how you're not just somebody doing dumb shit for clicks.
Right?
I know you won't reach out. You'll probably never hear this, but I swear to God, I would love to have Nick Fuentes on our podcast. So, because this is what he does. He says a bunch of hateful neo-Nazi rhetoric. be it against black people or Jewish people, or like that's his whole shtick. And then he got those same people to follow him over, and now he's got all the Democrats following him too.
Mm-hmm.
That is by definition the name of our podcast today, or the title of this episode, because that's what he's doing. Very specifically. I mean, tell me he is not an influencer being influenced.
Yep.
He's being influenced by what the people are willing to click on. And that is the whole point to it. Influencers are influenced by the people that are willing to click on their videos. Because if they're not willing to click on them, well, then they don't need to make the video.
Yep. Like they have no reason to.